Look at me, I'm
Giants coach Ben McAdoo announced Tuesday the team had benched Eli Manning in favor of Geno Smith. According to McAdoo, it wasn't his decision alone and it was a hard, tough choice. In his Tuesday press conference, McAdoo further explained why he decided to play Smith over Manning and what he hopes to accomplish. With that being said, how do you look at the locker room and your team? And say that Geno Smith gives you a better chance to win than Eli Manning? We're confident that we can put a plan together to put Geno in a position to be successful and go win the game. How did you come to this decision at this point? We have 5 games left to play. We have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. We have 2 that we have yet to see in significant game action for us, and we want to go take a look at both of those players. Did you run this by ownership, and was this a conversation that you had with them and General Manager Jerry Reese? I spoke to Jerry and I spoke to ownership, yes. We're on the same page. Is this the end of Eli Manning in New York? No. Why not? Well, I have a lot of confidence in Eli as a player, as a quarterback. But at this point, it's my responsibility for the organization to make sure we take a look at Geno and, at some point, take a look at Davis Webb and give them the opportunity to show what they can do heading into next year. Geno is going to be a pending free agent, so are you doing this to evaluate if you want to bring him back, or is that at least part of it? Yeah. It's part of the evaluation process. Geno has come in. He's done everything that we've asked him to do. Won the backup job and want to throw him out there and see how he performs. We feel we can put a good plan together and put him in position to help us win this ball game. Are you surprised that Eli declined the opportunity to start? No. The streak obviously is very important to Eli. I have a lot of respect for everything that Eli has done in this league and for this organization, and a lot of respect for the streak. I see what he goes through each and every week to get ready to play and how consistent he is, and I don't want to speak for Eli, but I don't believe he would want to tarnish the record, and I'll leave it at that. Was it a situation where you would just start him a series or 2, or what was the game plan? The game plan going in was to play him for a half and play Geno for the second half, and we decided after our conversation this morning that we'll give Geno the ball starting at the beginning of the game. How did you break it to Eli? I brought him in, had a chance to think about it over the weekend, and I brought him in yesterday. We sat down and talked about it and left it overnight to think about it a little bit more, and then we talked about it this morning and decided on this is the best direction for the team. Will he be inactive? No. He'll be number 2 this week. Down the road, could he be inactive? We're going to take it 1 week at a time right now. So, your intention is not to start him over the final 5 games. Our intention is this week Geno is going to start the game, play the game, and Eli will be number 2. You mentioned getting Davis Webb time. Where will that be? At some point in time, Davis will be thrown in the mix. Yes. So, not necessarily Sunday. Not necessarily Sunday. He'll be active, Davis Webb. I didn't say that. What do you think this says about your future that ownership gave the okay on this? This has nothing to do with my future. This is what's best for the team moving forward. This season is over, so it's looking towards next season. No. We have 5 games left to play. 5 very important games. We have a chance to go win these 5 games. We have a chance to take a look at the roster top to bottom, get great evaluations and move forward that way. Was this weekend the first time you thought about making this move, or did you think about it before then? Had a short week last week when we knew we were out of playoff contention. We were out of the mix. That's the time when you really have to take a look at your roster and make determinations on who you want to evaluate. Have you announced this to the team? I just did. Yes. What was their reaction? Not much of a reaction. I'm sure they'll have more for you later. Do you think it'll be tough to get those guys to buy in when you sit at what I'm Super Bowl MVP? I think that players in this league understand that their job is on the line each and every time they take the field. They understand how precious reps are. They understand how precious games are. They know that they could lose their job at any point in time, and I think they can relate to, most of them can relate to what Eli is going through. How much did Eli's performance on Thursday at Washington play into this decision? Listen, I haven't coached well enough. Our offense hasn't played well enough. Our defense hasn't played well enough, and our special teams haven't played well enough. All those reasons are why I'm standing here right now. They're all part of it. What does this move say about the quarterback position for the Giants going forward? I think that just like every other position, you're going to look at it critically and do an evaluation, an open, honest evaluation. You said that Eli wouldn't want to tarnish the streak, but a lot of fans are going to say that you're tarnishing his legacy here. What would your response be? I think a lot of Hall of Fame quarterbacks who have done a lot for a lot of teams haven't been able to choose the way that they get to move on, and I'm not saying that we're moving on, but at some point in time, you have to make hard, tough decisions for the best of the franchise. And that's what I have to do here. Is it realistic to make this move and to have a future with Eli going forward? Time will tell. You and players talked about how important it was when Eli stood up before the Kansas City game and got everyone fired up. A week later you're making this move. Did you have to think long and hard about this decision? I think you have to separate yourself emotionally from things, as hard as that may be. I respect everything that Eli has done for this organization and make decisions on what's best for the future of the organization. You went to Jerry Reese and John Mara after you made this decision independently. We're all on the same page. Whose idea was it? Do you go to them after the decision is made? We're all on the same page with the decision. How much do you think a mobile quarterback can be different to work with or can be helpful to you at this point? As far as Geno has a skill set that is a little bit different than Eli. He is a pocket passer and he can do some creating on the move. I think that's something Eli has gotten better at over the years, but Geno can create on the move. He's going to have to pick his spots. They're a very, very talented rush this week. But I'm excited to watch him play. If you're back here next year, you can see Eli as your starting quarterback. It's part of the evaluation process. Absolutely. Are there any thoughts of waiving him? No.